I'm not exactly sure how it's happened, but I'll give you my take on it, right? We've never talked about mental health more before, yet somehow we've become weaker because instead of building emotional strength, we've built a culture that rewards emotional fragility. We've made it normal to break down over minor inconveniences. We've convinced people that if something makes them uncomfortable, it must be harmful. We've created a world where feelings aren't just acknowledged, they're treated like the absolute truth. And we know that feelings are not facts. And here's what that looks like in real life. Discomfort is mistaken for danger. If a conversation makes you uneasy, it must be toxic. If a person challenges you, they must be unsafe. If a situation feels hard, it must be harming you. Boundaries are also being used as walls. Instead of learning how to have difficult conversations, we shut people out completely. Instead of addressing issues, we disappear and call it self-preservation, or I'm protecting my peace or my mental health. Struggle is now being labeled as a crisis. We've also blurred the lines between real hardship and normal life challenges. And instead of navigating stress, we call everything overwhelming. Instead of working through difficulties, we assume that we're just burnt out. We protect feelings over growth. And instead of asking, what is this teaching me? We ask, how do I make this stop? Instead of allowing emotions to come and go, we obsess over them like they define us. We've created a mindset where people believe that emotions should be protected instead of processed. Life isn't going to tiptoe around you. The world isn't going to adjust itself to your emotional needs.
I ain't got shit positive to say. If they play with you, crash the fuck out.
Right in the heart of a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on man. Don't wipe their feet when they enter the lab. I feel a cold stare.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw that clip. Hopefully, you made it through the whole clip. People are soft, in my opinion, and I'm going to agree with the therapist, but I'm going to add some things. Life is not going to get better for you if you think walking away from everything is peaceful, if you think quitting things is peaceful. Because a lot of times, what really winds up happening is as you grow up, the people who confront you are people who care about you. And sometimes they're the people who are actually carrying you. So let's just go with the two C's. Caring and carrying. So what happens is you got people out here who care about you and they have to confront you because they don't want to see anything bad happen to you. They don't want to see you put yourself in a bad situation. So they got to confront you. And what happens is now people go, nah, I need to protect my peace. I need to move around from that because you know accountability is toxic, or um, constructive criticism is toxic, or being observant of a person's patterns is toxic, right? And telling them. So it's like, okay, we got issues now. And then and now we have to, make take this a step further. You know, but now what we got to do is take it a step further about carrying. I got a message, so I'm sorry. So now we got to take it a step further about carrying. Then you have people who are carrying other people. And this is what is more important about the soft society, because the soft society does not want to deal with the concept of a lot of the people that y'all are calling toxic are the people that are carrying you. Those are the people who are doing the heavy lifting. You're considering them toxic because y'all might be getting into it. They may be lashing out. They may be talking to you, quote unquote, crazy, but and you don't feel like you deserve it. But here's the issue: they don't like you because they love you. And because they love you so much, they carrying you, but they don't like you because for some odd reason, you want to be oblivious to the fact that people are putting in double time in their life to help you. You're entitled. You're spoiled. You're ungrateful. And see, people like that, are emotionally fragile, as she says. You know, when you get in a situation where a person is carrying you and you're like, they supposed to do this. No, no, no. They're supposed to do that for themselves. They're supposed to do that for their kids, till their kids reach a certain age. But they're not supposed to do that for you. Hold that thought. The reason I gotta say that is because I've seen family members and friends ruin relationships. Family members, friends, in regular relationships, spouses or girlfriends, boyfriends, all that, ruin relationships because they didn't want to be an adult, basically. Because a lot of this soft society is people don't want to be adults, and the problem with this is also, if you want to be able to be free and just free spirited and just a lollygag through life. When you're an adult, nobody's going to care if that's what you want to do with your life, as long as you're doing it on your time and on your dime. But what you wind up seeing is people do that on somebody else's time and somebody else's dime, and then they get upset because the person is tired of their BS. So, and I've noticed this with work and work ethic. You see people who are working and they have a work ethic, and you look down on those people because I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You see yourself as above that person, but truth be told, you eating off of that person's plate. They're feeding you at their table. They're housing you in their home. You're the one running up the light bill. You're the one running. They're buying extra food for. You're the one that needs all of these extra amenities. And, and this goes hand in hand with being emotionally fragile, because people need all of these things to function, right? And what happens is, I see people who need a million things to function, but they never function. As in, I need all of these comforts, and once I'm comfortable, I'm gonna get to work. But truth be told, once they're comfortable, they're just gonna go to sleep. That's what they're gonna do. Sucks to say that, but that's what they're gonna do. You get what I'm saying? So, and and the older you get, it's like the thought of actually having to be an adult is what's making people so mentally fragile. Like, I'm gonna have to be responsible. I'm gonna have to be accountable. I'm gonna have to pull my own weight. I'm gonna have to, take care of myself. And then it's like, oh, oh, oh. Now I have a mental issue. Now I have anxiety. You know, now I'm like she said, now I'm overwhelmed. And it's like, no, you're overwhelming the person who's caring for you and carrying you, while you're being overwhelmed by absolutely really doing the bare minimum. That's who's overwhelmed. But guess what? Those overwhelmed people don't get a chance to be overwhelmed, because it's all about you. And unfortunately, because it's all about you, you don't see anything wrong with it. Thus, the toxic, and it's really not a lot of people with their mental health, from my point of view, it's a lot of people with too much time on their hands talking about mental health, because they're not actually busy. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the stress of a person that's doing a lot more. Let's just say that. And let me pivot to that. because it's also a thing where there are people who actually do have mental health issues for legitimate reasons. And y'all are making them people look like y'all are more important than them. There are people dealing who have mental health issues dealing with actually because of the health issues or traumatic experiences in life, or or even grief, but y'all just I just can't do this and I can't do that because I just can't, because the feeling just makes me, and I'm just overwhelmed in my anxiety. And it's like, you didn't go through anything. For a lot of y'all, what's toxic is you. What's traumatic is you. You get what I'm saying? What's unsettling is you. What gives you anxiety is you. But the problem is you don't want to deal with you, so it just spills over into everybody around you. And I've seen this time and time again with people. And here's the thing that makes it worse. If you get to be emotionally fragile, see, a lot of y'all are really bullies using your emotionalism, because you can't, how can I say this? You're a liability to people because your feelings run everything, while the realities of life have to be taken care of by all the people around you who you just can't deal with. So society got softer for all the wrong reasons. It's too comfortable for the wrong people, is what I would say. But I'm gonna end it at that. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.